Michel Barnier, the chief Brexit negotiator from the European Union, has said that Britain must remain bound by Brussels red tape if we want to continue trading with the continent. That's not Brexit. Barnier certainly doesn't want to see Britain succeed. It's quite obvious that he and the rest of the dictators and bureaucrats in Brussels want to make an example of the UK. If Britain were to leave the EU and succeed, then other member states might well follow suit. In fact, they would follow suit. We're already seeing a shift in politics across Eastern Europe, which is now reaching the West. We can see that with the incredible results in Italy recently. Britain leaving the EU is one thing, but a Britain that becomes more competitive and independent and able to more effectively protect its citizens and allow for business and economic growth sets an example for the rest of the continent. And that would end the gravy train for the political bigwigs, dictators and hard-left authoritarian ideologues who want to see a new USSR formed and the individual national identities destroyed. So it should come as no surprise that Barnier has said that a future trade deal will require the United Kingdom to commit to EU standards forever. We're not talking about a transition period anymore, we're talking about being stuck with EU regulations permanently with no representation in Parliament. That's not Brexit, that's just foreign dictatorship. Would the United States ever cede control over to Canada? Even the suggestion's just crazy. So why the hell would we even be considering ceding control to Germany and France? We didn't vote Brexit to strip away the admittedly meaningless voting rights we had, while remaining bound by regulations being voted on by the EU's signed-up members. This is the worst deal ever made. Sorry, Trump, but I think this takes the title from the Iran deal. When speaking to MEPs in a debate about UK environmental regulations, he warned that the European Union would be, quote, extremely vigilant in stopping attempts by the UK to change rules and regulations to compete with Europe. Now, we owe nothing to the European Union. British taxpayers have given over 500 billion quid to the EU since we joined. So what exactly do we owe these people? And somehow, somewhere down the line, British politicians have decided that we do owe them something. We owe them our entire country. No. So in his speech, Barnier also said, quote, if we make sure our partnership is based on a level playing field, then we should have strongly mitigated the threat of Brexit to EU environmental policy. But we know that this isn't about saving the Earth. This is about stopping the UK from competing against Europe. He said it himself. He also claimed, quote, there will be no ambitious partnership without guarantees on fair competition, social standards, tax dumping, and not least environmental standards. So what's it going to take to actually leave the EU? Clearly the deal-making process isn't working. When the other party in the process starts making demands that hurt the UK and give them the huge upper hand, not just in competition in trade, but in allowing them to control an entire country's policies from overseas, then it's time to walk away. We should stop being taken advantage of. Our good nature can only go on for so long. Clearly the European Union won't give us a good deal, and clearly they won't allow us to be competitive. And leaving the process entirely, going it on our own and letting the EU eventually return to us with their tail between their legs is an infinitely better option. But the long-term reality is clear as well. No country is ever going to escape the grip of this authoritarian monster until it's brought down completely. This is no longer just Brexit. The EU must be totally destroyed in all European countries and its leaders held to account for decades of undemocratic rule and the destruction of nations through catastrophic social, immigration and economic policies. Only when the EU has been totally destroyed will we be free. Watch me and the rest of the Rebel team on our brand new app. Download it now from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store.